Hello, good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Prof.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Prof, you are welcome, sir.
okay, thank you.
Good
Thank
evening,
you very
sir.
much. Yeah, thank you very much.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. Usually I don't I don't give any lecture in this course, but I had to stand in for a colleague who is going on leave. So this is my own take on this infertility. And I'm sure that some of you would have probably received 1 or 2 lectures on infertility. But I just hope that this one will be a little bit different. This one is the public health take of the subject. This is how we do it in public health. You know, we are in the hospital, we are in the community, and at times that's why they call us. At times they call us community medicine. Okay, so today we'll be discussing infertility, and infertility is a topical issue in population and reproductive health. A problem that someone we don't pray to have because of the emotional trauma that is associated with it. Okay, so let's just start. Infertility is defined as the disease of the reproductive system characterized by the failure to achieve a clinical pregnancy after 12 months or more of regular unprotected sexual intercourse. This definition is a clinical, so it's a clinical definition used to determine whether the problem really exists, especially as some couples may seek treatment when the various criteria for the diagnosis have not been met. I don't know, at times when people get married, they expect the wife to get pregnant after a few months. And even some men have been said to want that proof of fertility from their fiancé before they can go ahead to consummate the marriage. So the thing there is that it's regular unprotected sex for at least 12 months. At least 12 months. Since it seems they have reduced. It seems they have reduced it because it used to be longer. But it is also said that for women above the age of 35, this duration is even less. It's even less. It can even be set at 6 months because of the age-related fertility decline amongst women over the age of 35. So there is need to start to investigate when it involves women above the age of 35. Okay, so related to infertility are fertility and fecundity. I'm sure that when you had the course on epidemiology, and I don't know if you have done demography, yeah, but definitely epidemiology. Such terms would have been discussed. Fecundity is the physiological ability of a woman to conceive, carry a pregnancy to term, and give birth to a healthy baby, while fertility is the actual birth rate of a woman. Fecundity is the potential to give birth influenced by genetics and health, while fertility is the measure of actual reproductive output influenced by the desire to give birth. fecundity is actually higher in developed countries, where most of the causes of infertility, especially the type of infertility called secondary infertility, are uncommon. They are uncommon, and these causes are related to pelvic inflammatory disease and sepsis associated with unsafe abortions. These causes are relatively less in developed countries, and that's why sorry, apologies, I lost my network, but I'm back. So in developed countries, they have their women have a higher fecundity, which means that they have a higher capacity, ability to conceive because of the lower rate of sepsis from unsafe abortion and pelvic inflammatory diseases. Okay, but however, women in those developed countries, although they have that higher ability to conceive, but they don't give as many. They don't give birth to as many children as in our own country. So back to infertility. The worldwide, the infertility affects about one in six persons, which is approximately 17.5% of the adult population. So which means it is fairly common. It is fairly common it's fairly common. It's fairly common. And there are, however, some regional differences, with infertility slightly higher in high-income countries, mostly due to age-related female infertility, age-related. So in developed countries, they have a higher infertility rate, mostly because they tend to marry at a higher at an older age, and of course you know that the older the woman, the older the woman, the lesser the ability to conceive. Okay, but in our own country, in Nigeria and the other developing countries, the rising incidence of infertility has been attributed to male factors, especially the lower quality of sperm, lower quality of sperm. So I think it has been reported all through that, in fact, even worldwide, that men are having lower quality sperm. Okay, but in Nigeria, the infertility rates varies, and it ranges from 10% to 30%. So it's a wide range. It's a wide range, but these differences have actually been attributed to the difference in methodology. I'm sure that by the next course you'll get into the research methodology phase of this program. And study methodologies are very, very important because they actually can affect the results. So in this case now, this wide range of prevalence of infertility recorded in Nigeria can actually be attributed to the differences in the methodology. A rural community in Nigeria it was found that 30%, they found 30% infertility, 30% infertility, and 30% infertility is quite high, which means that 30% is about 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. Yes, 1 in 3, more than 1 in close to more than 1 in 4 women or couples have problem with infertility. So it's a serious problem. It's a serious problem. But most of it, look at it, more than a lot of it, close to more than half, more than a greater percentage of which due to secondary infertility. Other studies carried out in other towns in Nigeria recorded other prevalences. 15.7% in Sokoto, 26.8% in Newi, 48% in Oshogbo. I'm sure that it is because of infertility. It is because of it is a hospital-based study, and that is a problem of hospital-based study, because we cannot imagine close to half of the married couples in Oshogbo having an infertility problem. So that is the reason. That is one of the reasons why we have to always consider the study methodology before reporting any prevalence. Look at this, 48%, which is close to 1 in 2, 50% of all couples in Oshogbo. So we have to realize the fact that this is likely to be a hospital-based study. Okay. But however, most of the infertility in Nigeria are secondary infertility due to sexually transmitted infections and unsafe abortions. Secondary infertility is an infertility. The woman has had a previous pregnancy, but is now finding it difficult to conceive, and it's mostly due to infections, sexually transmitted infections, and unsafe abortion, probably resulting in the blockage of her fallopian tubes. Okay, so that is the prevalence in Nigeria. So with this, you will notice that it is a very serious problem in Nigeria. It is a very serious problem in Nigeria. So okay, so this is differentiating primary infertility from secondary infertility. In primary infertility, the couple have never conceived before, or we can say that the woman have never conceived before, while in secondary infertility, she's now having difficulty conceiving after her previous conception. Okay, so what of the causes? It's usually said that there are male causes, female causes, and a combination of both, and sometimes no identifiable reason. So there are some cases of infertility that there are no identifiable reasons, but usually what is being taught is that the quarter is due to male factors, and another quarter due to female factors, and then the third quarter due to a combination of both. But for female infertility, we have said that at times it has to do with the problem of ovulation. And this ovulation can be due to hormonal problems, other times, but most often due to blockages, to her tubes and womb, and then of course age-related factors, because the number and quality of a woman's egg declines significantly after the age of 35. And we know that there are some occupations that put that increases the risk of infertility. For example, occupations that exposes the woman to radiation, that exposes the woman to radiation. So interestingly, we have a section, a specialty in medicine that makes use of radiation, like the radiology, eh? the radiology, and of course the radiographs, where they use X-rays, and X-rays use irradiation. X-rays, even CT scans, they emit irradiation, and if proper preventive measures are not taken, the staff there can absorb a lot of irradiation, and this irradiation can affect that can affect the quality of the ovaries. Okay. We also know that the oil industry has some problems with irradiation. For example, the flow station. The flow station is said to have irradiation levels that are significantly higher than normal. So staff, oil company workers, female oil company workers, especially if they work in their flow stations, may be exposed to higher levels of irradiation, and that may affect the quality of their eggs. Okay, so we also have male factors, abnormalities, sperm abnormalities, varicocele, which is an enlargement of the veins of veins in the scrotum, ejaculation problems, hormonal imbalance. These are some of the male causes of infertility. And then you have shared causes. Some of them are environmental. We have talked about age, lifestyle, smoking, as excessive alcohol intake, and obesity. Obesity can impact fertility in both partners, and it is even worse when both partners are obese. When both partners are obese, their infertility may be a problem. And then environmental toxins. We have talked about environmental toxins. If one is exposed to pesticides, like in the agricultural industry, and of course we have mentioned irradiation. And then medical treatments involving X-rays and chemotherapy. Radiotherapy. It's actually radiotherapy, not chemo. Okay, radiotherapy. Then, we just mentioned the causes in orthodox medicine, in scientific medicine. But in our traditional societies, there are also other causes that we need to mention. There are other causes that we need to mention. And these perceived causes, they go beyond the physical. They go beyond the physical and include supernatural and ancestral factors. For supernatural causes, there are supernatural forces that are said to be capable of causing infertility, especially through witchcraft, causes displease the ancestors and gods, in which cleaning, spiritual cleaning ceremony may be needed as the required remedy. So there is also divine will, the will of God, and the will of God, especially including example being those of us that are Christian will be aware of the story of Rachel, Jacob's wife. In fact, in one of the Bible passages, Jacob was saying, "Am I in the place of God, who has who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb. Okay, so in traditional religious traditional societies, it may infertility may be considered as the will of God, as the will of God. It can also be due to moral transgressions, and this is very, very common in traditional societies in Nigeria, where promiscuity, multiple abortions, or wickedness can be are believed to be capable of causing infertility, promiscuity, multiple abortions. I'm sure that you may have heard that. And also what they call the use of eggs. Use of eggs. They believe that if a woman carries out multiple abortions, those abortions would have depleted her egg supply. But we know that almost on a monthly basis, the women release egg to be fertilized, and when they are not fertilized, they will have their menses. But in several of these our traditional societies, they believe that abortions can actually use up the eggs of a woman, resulting in infertility. And other causes include dirty womb. Some womb can be said to be dirty, and then because they are dirty, they may not be conducive to carry pregnancy. And at times they say the womb is hot. And therefore may not be too suitable for pregnancy. Okay, so infertility is associated with severe stigma. Stigma and discrimination is associated with infertility in our society, in our traditional society. And why this stigma and why infertility? We have heard that infertility is even higher in developed countries, but they don't suffer the extent of infertility, the infertile couples in Nigeria and other developing countries suffer. So and these stigma and discriminations are actually fueled by societal pressure, fueled by societal pressures, especially because of the emphasis on procreations. In many of our traditional societies, a person's social value is linked to having children. This so-called pronatalistic ideology places immense pressure on couples to conceive, leading to feeling of failure if they cannot. Other drivers include outdated gender norms. While both men and women are responsible for infertility, women, however, often bear the brunt of the blame, especially in patriarchal societies, where the burden of bearing a child rests squarely upon women. And then, of course, there are some traditional beliefs that are sometimes rooted in religion, that marginalize infertile couples, labeling the childless woman as barren, and excluding them in some family celebrations. What are the possible health effects of this infertility stigma? What are the possible health effects? Although infertility is a physical problem, it, however, has significant psychological and social effects on the infertile couple. It's capable of causing depression and anxiety and depression. The constant pressure, feelings of inadequacy, and social isolations are strongly linked to psychological stress, including higher rates of depression and anxiety. I'm sure that we can actually feel it. We can actually feel the pressure, and that pressure can result in depression and anxiety. It can also result in low self-esteem, and shame because of these societal expectations. Societal expectations. A woman, especially a woman, may feel worthless, and may feel very ashamed, eh, ashamed for not being able to conceive and give birth. And then they may have identity problems. For a man, the men may feel that they are not man enough. They are not man enough. And then for women, they may feel that they are not complete. They are not complete. Okay? They are not complete. For social, there are also some social effects, and these include social isolation. Social isolation. Infertile women, they tend to withdraw from social situations, particularly those involving children, to avoid painful or insensitive comments and questions. When it comes to certain social occasions like Mother's Day, they tend to withdraw from such activities so that they will not either indirectly or directly refer to as barren and therefore not worthy to be involved in such celebrations. Social isolation. And of course, this can lead to increased loneliness and a decline in their quality of life. It can also strain relationships. It can strain relationships. It has resulted in several incidents of verbal and physical violence, and then infertility. Sorry, divorce. Divorce rate is very, very high amongst the infertile couples. There is very, very high, and of course, even verbal and physical violence. I don't know. I think before we go into the management of infertility, I don't know if there are comments or questions. I'm sure that, yes, are there comments or questions that we can take before we move forward? Comments, questions? Okay. Okay. So anyway, I think, which means I can go forward. Okay, so the management of infertile couple in traditional societies, I think we'll have to start with the management of infertility in our traditional society. And they have different treatments, which we have to discuss. The first one is herbal and body treatments, including the use of herbal concoctions, cupping, use of herbal remedies are used. Then apart from that, they also use massages. I know that in Bayelsa, where infertility is sometimes said to be due to a dislocated uterus. So treatment usually involves going to a TBA or a massager to massage the uterus back to a position that will be able to receive or be able to conceive. So massages in such societies, especially in Ijaw communities, where massagers are very, very common, are popular health practitioners. Then special foods are eaten. Including honey, avocados, figs, and others. they are eating to boost the fertility of the woman. And then they also consult religious leaders. They consult religious leaders. So they consult religious leaders and spend some time with them. And I don't know what, a lot of stories have actually been told about what truly happens in such visits. Then there are prayer and fasting, and this is common amongst different religion in Christianity. Waiting upon the Lord is common. Praying and fasting, very common. And in Muslim societies, the recitation of specific verses from the Quran is also part of the treatment. And then in traditional societies, amulets and charms are used to ward off the evil spirits, evil spirits, and to counter the cause, any cause that um, uh, that is responsible for the infertility. And then sacrifices. Sacrifices are made. Sacrifices are made to appease the gods and the deities. And I know that when I was growing up, they used to have special feasts. They used to have special feasts for children. Children are usually invited to attend such feasts as a way of attracting children, to the infertile, to the woman with the fertility problem. And then visits are made to shrines. Visits are made to the shrines. So this one is this one is yes, I don't know. I Going by what happens in shrines. We don't what happens in the shrine of traditional healers have not been told, but people, what we know, going by what happened in the Delphi shrine of ancient Greece, is that some of the treatments that were given during that were given in the temple of Asclepius were actually uh, given by the priests and the priestesses. They will just burn insects to create a euphoric situation. Just euphoric, alter the consciousness of the patient, and then they will go ahead and perform. So I suspect that in some of these shrines, um, some some fertilization, so fertilization may have been carried out. May have been carried out. It's possible. It's possible, especially when they suspect that the infertility is caused by a male factor. It's caused by a male factor. So, so these are some of the treatments, and most times these treatments they don't work. They don't work. So if they don't work, the couple have to the couple has to recourse to certain coping mechanisms. They have to recourse to certain coping mechanisms, one of which is polygyny. Polygyny is when a man is married to more than one wife. I'm sure that a lot of us are familiar with polygamy. Polygamy it can be male, it can be female. A woman can decide to get married to more than to have let's say to have a sexual relationship approved or recognized in their community with more than one man. That is also a polygamy. So polygamy is not just a male thing, but polygyny is when a man is married to more than one wife. And we know that in some communities, including in River State, I think they say at times it's even practiced in I think either Ikwere and Ogoni land, where especially the first daughter may 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 remain in her father's house, and be married with, sorry, and then we have some relationship with more than one man. Okay, so in that this thing, so this polygyny, and sometimes is the woman that gets the wife for the husband. It's the woman that gets the wife for the husband. And in the Bible, there is an example. Sarah giving her maid Hagar to Abraham. Okay, okay. So polygyny when a man decides gets married to a second wife uh, for the purpose of getting a child. Example being Sarah giving her maid Hagar to Abraham. Okay. The other coping mechanism is actually, should I say, sanctioned adultery. Sanctioned adultery is common. It's common, but it is covertly. It is covertly done in most societies. You may not know. It's only when you are when you keep your ears to the ground. It's only when you keep your ears to the ground that you will know. And this is when a man, where a woman might be expected, where a woman is expected to just have a child with another male family member, another male family member of her husband, if her husband is believed to be the one that is infertile. It is usually a family secret. But when a person in an extended family has problem impregnating the wife, another member of the extended family is given responsibility. I think the agreement is usually given. The agreement is between the wife and the husband. They will just make that arrangement. But in most cases, the man hears no evil, sees no evil, and try to feign ignorance. And this works, especially in these traditional societies where properties are owned communally. Are owned communally. So it is still within the extended family. If it is another person, another member of the extended family that actually impregnates the woman. Okay. And interestingly, what happened between in the Bible in Genesis 18 is also said to be a case of suspected, or let me just say, or suspected by some scholars to be an example of sanctioned adultery. And it was the incidents that led to the birth of Isaac, in which Abraham entertained three angels. And after their visit, Sarah became pregnant with Isaac. Some scholars believe that it was actually an example of sanctioned adultery. Okay, so another coping method is adoption and fostering, where the couple are sometimes gifted a child by a relative to foster as their own child. These children are recognized as legitimate children of the infertile couple and given all the rights and privileges of a member of the family, of the extended family. Okay, so adoption. I am sure that some of us that grew up in our villages would have known one or two examples of this. Of course, there are some disadvantages some disadvantages of these traditional treatment methods. One of which is that the herbs used may be dangerous, may be dangerous to health. And of course, the time spent on these unproven traditional remedies may also delay the couples from seeking effective medical treatment, especially as fertility decreases with age. Okay, so although people prefer these traditional treatments because they are cheap and they are culturally accepted, but they may delay treatment, taking into consideration that the success rate, even for IVF, decreases with increasing age of the woman. Okay, so but what is the trend in Nigeria is the combination of both, the combination of the two. A combination of the two. A huge number of infertile couples now use this combination, combining traditional remedies with modern medical treatments. Okay, and especially the belief in miracles. Belief in miracles provides credibility for miracle babies whose pregnancies may be unknown to the woman and her spouse, creating a business for the so-called baby factories. So some women, we believe in most religious settings, and Christianity especially, miracles are real. Miracles are real, and miracles are uncommon happenings. And because of this belief, a lot of women have suddenly delivered, suddenly have delivered a baby without their knowledge, without the knowledge that they are even pregnant. Some will give testimony saying that they were even seeing their period. And from research, we know that a lot of the babies, from research, it has been found that they weren't even pregnant, that those babies they were presenting were actually procured from baby factories. And of course, we have had in the news of several reports of baby factories where even teenagers and women with unwanted pregnancies are watered and fed and treated until they deliver, and then their babies sold to these women, claiming to these women fueling this miracle baby stories. Okay, so the other one is also related to this complementary use. People, of course, get involved, use IVF, the modern method, and still engage in prayers and fasting, and then they may also be they may also attend the special ministrations of the powerful men of God, and at the end, of course, testimonies are given, and a lot of these testimonies. In fact, it is widely believed that most of the testimonies given in churches for twin pregnancies multiple childbirths after years of infertility. Most of them came from these complementary treatments. Most of them came from IVF, combined with ministration of the men of God, and then special prayers and the rest. Okay, so yes. So that is the common belief. Okay, I don't know if there is any contributions, any comments or contributions or questions before we go into the modern. the modern one that we can. Yes. Hello, Ezinne. I thought this would have generated what I have presented would have generated a lot of discussions, but let's hear from Ezinne first. Hello, Ezinne.
Prof, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good to hear your voice again. Prof, please, can you elaborate where you mentioned about sanctioned adultery? I did not really understand it. Thank you and over.
Okay, thank you very much. It's actually adultery. Anyway, adultery is when someone, a married person, has sex with outside the marriage. Yes, but in some cases, it's sanctioned. In sanction, in the sense that perhaps the spouse is aware, and in most cases, it has to do with the man. Sorry, yes, the man giving permission for the wife to 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 have sex with another person. And in traditional societies, it's usually a member of the extended family. It's usually a member of the extended family. Okay, so I know that in my community that is what happens. But to also extend it, some Bible scholars, they believe that those the circumstances leading to the birth of Isaac to Sarah and Abraham. Some scholars believe that it's also an example of sanctioned adultery. Yes, because if you also read that Bible passage, Abraham saw these three men whom he considered as angels, entertained them lavishly, and then I think they spent the night. I don't know what happened in the night. That wasn't. But by the next day, they were predicting the birth of Isaac. Okay, so that is how much I can say about that, isn't it? So I can go to okay, I can go to Pamel. Hello, Pamel.
Hello. Yeah, good evening,
No.
sir.
Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I also wanted to ask a question on that.
That's Anne.
Yes,
Okay,
Anne.
there are some people on the
Yes.
queue, but you can go ahead. I'm sure that they are gentlemen.
Okay, thank you so much. It's just a follow-up question to the question you just responded to, because I also had the concern to it before someone actually asked a question on that. So considering the scenario you actually gave about Abraham and Sarah, who can you actually say among the two was actually sanctioned? Because I still don't get it.
No. Sanction means approved, though. It's not that there is no consequence. No, because
Okay.
yeah, I think the man will just look away. The man just looks away. If a man sees his wife having that any relationship, the man go break the person's head now. But in that case, it's not like that. It's not like that. He sees no evil. I think he just will claim ignorance.
Okay.
Ignorance. Pamel.
Right.
Hello, Pamel.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, please. With regards to what the between Abraham and Isaac, Sarah, you know that Sarah is far advanced in age, whereby if somebody have to pregnant her, it will be difficult for that person.
It will be
So I'm
difficult.
just wondering, was it Isaac or was it Hagar and Abraham?
Yeah, Hagar was a case of polygyny. It was Sarah that gave Hagar to Abraham. But from this narration, they said the promise is not for Ishmael that came from that marriage, but that Sarah will actually have her own. Her own.
So I'm listening.
To tell you the truth, in Africa, it is with us. We should I say African Christians that still interpret Bible. There are some Christians, a lot of Christians, including us, interpret the Bible literally. Others do not. Others do not. In fact, the first time I heard about this was from a priest, a Roman Catholic priest, a professor, though a professor of religion.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
I know. But he also, believed that Methuselah lived that long. Pavel.
Hello, sir. Let me come in here.
Yes, Emmanuel. Yes.
Good evening, class. Good evening, sir. My amiable professor. Let us stop. This one we are talking now is long. Let me just hit the nail on the head. Genesis chapter 38 from 6 to 10. Genesis chapter 38 from verse 6 to 10, where God himself killed. Where God himself killed brother to, is it? I've forgotten the name, but the brother was sent to war. And the brother died.
Okay, that's enough for Onan. The guy that was doing withdrawal.
Yes, Onan. Yes.
Interacticus.
Onan. According to that passage, that directed the brother to do that. So when the brother out of his selfishness, will now ejaculate outside the normal place that he should have ejaculated into, two ties or thrice. God personally killed the guy, and he died. So if God can permit such, if God
which means such, So it's a good example of that sanctioned adultery.
Yes. This one is divine sanction now.
Nonso. Yes, this one is divine. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Barry. Hello, yeah, Barry.
Okay, good evening, Prof.
Good evening.
Yes, my question is very far away from the sanctioned adultery. Mine is on pseudocyasis. Hello, Prof.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Prof, can you please expatiate a little on the known medical condition that is often orchestrated by miracle working midwife? You call it pseudocyasis.
No. Yeah, the thing is this. I think pseudo is I don't know, it's forced pregnancy. Let me just put it that way.
Okay,
it's forced pregnancy. These women can be made to believe that they are pregnant. In fact, some of them will even let it out that, they were seeing pregnancy, but they didn't know that the pregnancy was behind. Was behind. That pregnancy was behind. And somehow they were called by the midwife and the child was delivered. But the thing there, the truth is that it's probably not theirs. And with these visa things and DNA tests, in fact, there was one report that created a lot of problems. Then that a lot of the children were not fathered by their fathers. Their fathers were not the fathers based on DNA tests. At times when you go for visa interviews and you are going with children, at times they request for DNA tests, and there was a report that a lot of the children were found not to be the fathers were found not to be the real fathers of those children. So a lot of things happen, but I think the most important, the thing there is that is still that emphasis, is the emphasis on that a woman may not be considered as a full woman except she gives birth, except she gives birth. But I know that this is a phase. This is a phase in in those developed countries. In developed countries, they're having problems with, although they are fertile, but they are choosing not to give birth. The population of Japan is shrinking seriously. Scandinavian countries, they are shrinking below replacement level, which means our population, they are shrinking. So that some of the countries now, they are now encouraging people to give birth, to give birth. Okay, so probably perhaps we'll get to that stage where people just get married for companionship. In fact, if I had known that this country would be as hard as this. I know I've survived though. But when I look at what my children will have to go through, I say, why? I hope they'll be able to cope in this difficult world. So that is it. It's just because people are just so finding a way. And when we get into these modern treatments, even the surrogacy and things like that, you're also bringing up one or two issues too. Okay, so we can go to the modern treatments for infertility. It's actually based on the cause of the infertility. Include medication for women and for men, medication, hormonal treatments, for surgeries, correction of the blockages, and but the main one is this assisted reproductive technology. In fact, with this technology, infertility can be cured. The problem is the money. If anybody has enough money, if the couple, if they have enough money, infertility shouldn't be a problem. So it refers to assisted reproductive technology, refers to medical procedures designed to address infertility that involves the handling of both a woman's egg and a man's sperm or embryo in a laboratory setting, with the primary purpose of achieving a pregnancy when natural conception is difficult or impossible. There are various types: in vitro fertilization, IVF, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, pre-plantation genetic testing, and third-party assisted reproductive technology. So we can just go through them. Go through them, because these are probably the recommended treatment, except although they are expensive, but at least they are getting cheaper. It used to be about, probably it has even fallen to $1 million or less. But I don't know, with this inflation in Nigeria, perhaps it's likely have gone beyond 1 million. But there was a time it got below 1 million. But right now, I'm not sure of the current price, but it has gotten, I'm sure that, but generally, when it came in Nigeria, this in vitro fertilization, when it came into Nigeria, it was expensive, then became very affordable, at least to a larger number of persons, but I don't know how affordable it is now. So it involves the surgical removal of eggs from the ovaries of the woman, are then transferred to the woman's womb or uterus. The success rate of IVF for women under 35 using their own eggs is about 50%. So a 50% chance, 50% chance. Okay, and this decreases with maternal age and underlying health problems. For intracytoplasmic sperm injection, is usually used as a treatment for male infertility. It involves the injection of a single sperm into the center of a matured egg using a tiny needle. Okay, and then we have a cryopreservation. This is used to store the eggs or sperm or embryo for future use. It allows individuals to preserve their fertility or save excess embryo from an IVF. So you can, if you are busy making money, you don't want childbirth right now, you can have your eggs or sperm frozen, or if someone has a terminal disease, they can actually store their sperm or egg and just keep such that you can even as a man, you can, if you do that storage, you can even pregnant a woman even after you have died. You can father a child. You can father a child after you have died. And that's the same thing applies to a woman. The same thing applies to a woman. Okay. Then pre-implantation genetic testing. I think this the fertilization is done as usual in the laboratory, and then tested for abnormalities. So so they can actually select the embryo to implant. So which means that they are able to exclude embryos with some genetic diseases like sickle cell, like sickle cell. So with this technology, it means that couples who are both carriers of the sickle cell gene can actually marry. They can actually marry, but if they have the money for this technology, they can marry and they can have a child. Then this one is surrogate pregnancy. Surrogate pregnancy, where the fertilization is done with the egg and the sperm of the couple, but the pregnancy is carried by another person. Although this is is widely done, especially amongst for people with in certain careers, especially when you have a short duration career, like the sportsmen, like the sports people. Their career is short, maximum of 10, 15 years, except you are Ronaldo. But for most people, their career is 10, 15 years. So they want to really maximize that period. They want to really maximize that period, and they don't want to be taken out, sidelined by pregnancy and something like that. So they can get pregnant, they can have the eggs fertilized, but get another person to carry it. But in Nigeria, it will be problematic. It is problematic because the Nigerians, you have to the proof of motherhood is pregnancy and childbirth. So they want to see you experience that. They want to see you experience that. Because in Nigeria, we don't do DNA test is not important. It's not. It's not commonly done. What they want to see is they want to see you. They want to see the pregnancy, and they want to see you go to labor and deliver it. Okay. So although surrogate pregnancy is common, especially for those women in certain careers, but in Nigeria, I don't think it has taken up that much. Okay. I don't know if there is any question or comments that we can take before. Yes, Augustina.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, please, sir. My question is, I want to take you a little bit backwards. You talked about fecundity and fertility. Please, can you throw a bit more light on it? I don't think I quite understand it.
Okay, fecundity
the differences between fecundity
is the physiological or is the normal ability to give birth, the capacity to give birth. But fertility is the actual birth. A lot of women have that ability to give birth, but they are choosing not to give birth, perhaps because of career, and they are either abstaining or using contraception. So they are not getting pregnant because they don't want to, even when they can easily get pregnant. And we are saying that in developed countries where in Nigeria and a lot of other countries, most of the cases of infertility are caused by blockage of tubes, blockage of fallopian tubes, and that blockage is usually caused by infection. And in developed countries, they don't have that high level of infection. Okay, so in those developed countries, their ability to give birth, ability to conceive is high. The ability to conceive is fecundity, while the actual getting pregnant and delivery is called fertility. And most of in Nigeria and other developing countries, our fertility rate is higher. In Nigeria, it used to be up to 7 to 8 children, but right now it has dropped to 5 point something, 5.6. So we are getting down. We are getting to the level, and you know that the national population policy is that encourages us to have 4 children. They encourage us to have 4 children. Okay, but right now we are at the level of 5.6. 5.6, but it has actually dropped because it used to be as high as 8 children per Nigerian, average of 8 children per Nigerian women, but it has dropped. It has dropped to about 5.6 or so. Okay. Do we have any question, any other comments? Okay.
Sir, please check the chat box.
Okay, the chat box, Prof. Okay, Hagar gave back to Ishmael. Yes, not Isaac. Okay, I'm sure you're not able to get for. I should get back for. It is exactly what I wanted to ask. Okay, IVF, it's above 3 million. Okay, IVF is now 3 million, 3.8. 3 million and 3.8 now the same, almost the same now. Almost. Okay, yes, 3 million.
Yes.
Yeah. But I know that it will be as high as that because the inflation has been the dollar that used to be 350 has moved to 1.5, I'm sure. So is okay, 3 mil. Okay. So if somebody has a tons of money, they can. And as we said, there are also other options. They can they can even travel to their village. Okay, thank you very much. And anyway, I think this is the last lecture for this course, and by next week we'll be starting another course. and that call. No. Next week we'll take revision, then write the exam before we start a new course. And that new course will be a new phase because we want to start the process leading to the research. So we'll start research methodology, and within that period, you'll be expected to choose your topics, research topics, and then research topics. Then you'll be assigned, the topics will be approved, and then you'll be assigned supervisors. We'll also encourage you to get, if a supervisor around you. But we are also trying for this year. We are trying a new way of supervision. We are forming research teams. So the research team will mean that we are going to distribute you to those research teams, and they will take responsibility. The research teams will be made up of multidisciplinary team, led by probably one person, and they will help you with everything. They will help you with everything about your project. Yes, I think so. So although for you in MPH, you still have one course outside the usual courses. I think it's on environmental health. The other ones will be research methodology and research methodology.
Occupational health.
Yes. Okay. Occupational health is with environmental health. It's occupational and environmental health. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Is it advisable to have a family member as a surrogate? Yeah. You can. But anyway, you have to also convince. Somebody asked if it's advisable to have a family member as a surrogate. I don't know, in Nigeria, the problem is actually not the surrogacy, because for Americans, they are going to India to get someone to help carry the pregnancy. But the problem in Nigeria is that the women still want to experience it. They still want to experience it. But there are one or two so I saw there are some one or two women that were rumored to have done that. That is surrogacy. Hello, Juan. Hello, Juan.
Yes, Prof. Good evening, Prof.
Good evening.
Yes, please, I want to ask what our elective courses, how do you go about it?
Okay, yeah, I think that is also what I didn't remember. The elective courses will also kick in. The elective courses are now short courses, competency based. It will now kick in. So as you are doing your project, you are also carrying out doing those short courses. So we will soon give you history, and I didn't but I haven't recorded. Okay, don't worry. All your results will be accounted for. Will be accounted for. We are actually creating a spreadsheet, so we'll soon get them out. Make sure. So if any result that we don't have, we may even personally call you to get one or two information from you, and then have it sorted. Experience has taught us to keep the results ready, so that once you have your defense, we just include it, and your results is ready. That's what we are working. They used to say, I used to tell them, when they talk about the large number of students in our program, I used to say that in my place, when a child grows huge teeth, you don't scold that child, especially if the child also grows huge lips to cover the teeth. So it's not the number, but working out, the capacity to effectively cope with the number. That's what I've always stressed. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening and for your contributions. In fact, I prefer teaching a large class because at least you will be able to get one person to ask a question. But if you teach a small class, you will talk from the beginning to the end. Nobody will just say, I beg, just rest and draw your breath. They will let you talk for 1 hour, and at the end, you will just get exhausted. So I have to thank you for that and for your questions and comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Yes,
thank you, Prof.
We are getting to the soon. We are getting towards the end of the programs.
Thank you, Prof.
Or the thought courses. Hello, the tour. I hope I got that. Ngasoy.
Yeah, yes, Prof. Good evening. Thank you so much. I practically followed through the lecture today, and I've learned quite a lot. I just wanted to ask, how can we effective this infertility cause in relation to public health?
Is it?
How can we professionally put it into perspective, the fertility cause in relation to public health?
Yeah,
as against looking at it from the clinical point of view.
From what? No.
I mean,
okay,
yes, Prof.
Ahead.
I don't know if you got me. How can we put it into the perspective of public health as in relation to the clinical?
Okay, if you notice, anyway, I'm not a clinician, and that's why I wasn't big on the assisted reproductive technology. I also talked about the traditional and the religious. I'm sure that they are not usually mentioned, but those are the things that our people. Those are when it comes to seeking help. Those are the things they do. And at the beginning, I was just saying that, of course, we are in the community. We are in the community. That's why we are public health. We are in the community, so we know a lot of the things that go on in the community. Okay. Thank you very much. But it's a problem. It's a problem that we all wish that we don't have. We don't have, but it is an age-long problem. Thank you very much. And
Prof, please, there are still some chats and there are still some messages in the chat.
There are
still some messages in the chat.
Okay, okay, I hope one of the kind of request for space out a little bit. Exam a little bit. How many courses have we taken? How many courses have we taken? No. I mean, okay, if we have taken 3, okay, yeah, wondering because it will be. And to tell you, it used to tell you the truth, it used to be exam at the end of each course. At the end of each course, it used to be an exam, and but we have also introduced a revision. We have introduced a revision. So you want us to just shape the revision so that we'll make the exam, we'll spread the exam over 2 weeks. Will you prefer it that way?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, bro. The exam is okay like that.
Sir, we need the
No,
revision.
sir, we don't do the way, please.
Let's have the exam like that.
Okay.
Let's have the exam like that.
So we need the revision.
finish. Whatever you give us is okay for us.
Okay,
Not
thank you.
information.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, when a Samson is talking, we have to take cover. So let's thank you very much, and have the best on the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Good evening, Prof. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, Prof.
Bye.
Have a good night,
Thank you,
sir.
Prof. God bless you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Bless you,
Thank
Prof.
you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof, for your
Thank you,
lecture. We
Prof.
enjoyed your
God
lecture.
bless
We always
you.
enjoy your
Bye.
lecture.
And
Good
happy
night, sir.
weekend.
Happy weekend, sir. Good night.
Happy one.
Good night, sir.
Pass for 3 hours.